Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon to Dr. Shazali Shahruddin and my fellow friends. So today we are going to present our assignment which shows IGAUAN Coffee as our main research. Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Nur Ashira binti Ishaq.
And my name is Muhammad Islan Zulkarnain binti Zani.
And my name is Nur Anis Najwa binti Muhammad Noor.
My name is Nur Ismaili binti Abdul.
We were tasked to research how a sole proprietorship business and accounting principle are applied to prepare a financial position statement. So basically, we selected IGAUAN Coffee, a sole proprietorship business in Melaka, known because its specialty and equality sourced coffee. So why must IGAUAN Coffee? Because the first one, it's easy to access and observe, and the second one because it fits our study on a small business operation, and next is because nowadays coffee business is actually growing and more relevant. So the objective of our research is because we need to understand a business background, formation, and accounting practice. Is it whether it's maintain an appropriate accounting system? IGAUAN Coffee is a sole proprietorship business who founded by Mr. Muhammad Danish bin Hamidi, a 24 years old Malaysian who live in Tangga Batu, Melaka. His education background is he studied at SK Tangga Batu as his primary school and continued to SMK Seri Tanjung as his secondary school, and recently has his diploma in automotive and got a previous job as a barista at a reputable cafe. His first branch is located at Pantai Kelibang, Melaka, and his second branch is located at Lot 6 Usahawan Arcade, Jalan Hang Tuah, Melaka. And he planning to open his new branch by the end of this year. For his business capital, he actually used his personal savings that cost about 1,300 ringgit Malaysia as his startup capital, and he used a coffee grinders and drip that cost 350 ringgit Malaysia, and also he used many of his father's modals such as a car, van, and money. As for inspiration, actually he got inspired by a song, Malaysian song, which is IGAUAN Malam by Malaysian group band, which is Insomniac, and during his karaoke season with his friend. So he totally officially launched the business in September 2024. For operations and offerings, this business operating hours is daily from 10 a.m. until 1 a.m. So this business basically bringing artisanal brews to local event, and recently they go to Indonesia to promote his business, and they basically use initial equipment such as all antique version of stovetop espresso maker, mocha pot, and French press. So for main offering, it's about they offer artisanal coffee and variety of side drinks and beverages. For the target market, they actually target a general public and student, especially for his second branch, which is here at Melaka, Hang Tuah Melaka Mall. And the pricing is affordable and aiming for quality daily lifestyle. For staff and finances, this business actually got only 7 workers, which is 3 workers at Pantai Kelibang and 4 workers at Jalan Hang Tuah, and estimate salary per worker is actually 1,500 ringgit Malaysia, and they usually restocking system daily from supplier.
Okay, next is characteristic of the business. Characteristic of the business for IGAUAN Coffee. First is registration. The business was registered with the business registrar under the Business Registration Act 1957. Next is for ownership. For IGAUAN Coffee, the ownership is sole proprietorship, where the business is owned by one person, which is Mr. Muhammad Danish. And next is capital. For capital, capital is the model that the owner brought to the business to start his business. And for IGAUAN Coffee, the capital was contributed by him, by the owner. For example, Danish kept his saving that he saved during his past employment, which cost 1,300 ringgit that he used to start his cafe. And he also borrowed a van, a car, and also some money from his father to start his business. Next is liabilities. For liabilities, IGAUAN Coffee, they have unlimited liabilities, where due to opening cafe, he needs to pay to the supplier to get the coffee beans because Encik Danish started his business with a coffee shop. Also needs to pay salaries to his employees that he owns. Okay, next is management and control. As a sole proprietorship business, Encik Danish has managed and controlled all the things that happen in cafe by himself. For example, like salaries, expenses, wages, and also inventories. Next is books and account. As a sole proprietorship business, there is no legal obligation to keep books and account. However, Encik Danish has created books and accounts since 2024 by using Google Excel, Google Sheets, and also recording in books. And next is profit and loss, where as the owner of the business is only one person, so all the profit and loss that he earns will belongs to the owner himself. Next is going concern concept. Going concern concept is the entity is assumed to continue the operation in the business in the future for a longer period of time. And from IGAUAN Coffee, we can see from the interview that stated by Encik Danish, he stated that he is prepared to continue. He is prepared to open a new branch of his cafe by the end of 2025, which means that the cafe has lots of high demand from the customers. Next is classifications of business items. 5 business items. For number 1 is assets. Assets are properties that owned by a business, and there are 2 types of assets, which is current assets and non-current assets. For current assets are assets that are either in cash or can be converted into cash within 1 year. For IGAUAN Coffee, their current asset is cash in hand, cash in bank, supplies, and also inventory. Next is non-current asset. For non-current asset are assets that have a useful life of more than 1 year, and it is not for resale but to be used in the operation of the business. For IGAUAN Coffee, their non-current assets are refrigerators, desks, machines, and premises equipment. Okay, next is capital. Capital is financial resources invested by the owner in the business. For capital, from the interview that we did with Encik Danish, which is the owner of IGAUAN Coffee, he stated that he brought a cash RM 1,300 ringgit that he saved from his past employment to start his business, which he used the money to start his business. And he also borrowed from his father a car, a van. Next is classifications of business items. 5 business items. For number 1 is assets. Assets are properties that owned by a business, and there are 2 types of assets, which is current assets and non-current assets. For current assets are assets that are either in cash or can be converted into cash within 1 year. For IGAUAN Coffee, their current asset is cash in hand, cash in bank, supplies, and also inventory. Next is non-current asset. For non-current asset Non-current assets are assets that have a useful life of more than 1 year, and it is not for resale but to be used in the operation of the business. For IGAUAN Coffee, their non-current assets are refrigerators, desks, machines, and premises equipment. Next is capital. Capital is financial resources invested by the owner in the business. For capital, from the interview that we did with Encik Danish, which is the owner of IGAUAN Coffee, he stated that he brought a cash RM 1,300 ringgit that he saved from his past employment to start his business, which he used the money to start his business. And he also borrowed from his father a car, a van, and also some money to start his business. And he also used a cheap and old coffee grinders and drips that cost 350 ringgit to start his business. Is liabilities. There are two types of liabilities, which are current liabilities and non-current liabilities. For current liabilities are the amounts owed by a business that are expected to be paid within 1 year. For IGAUAN Coffee, the owner has to pay account payable which he owed to the supplier to get the coffee beans, and he needs to pay for it. And the owner also has to pay salaries to his employees for that has yet to be paid. Next is revenues. For IGAUAN Coffee, the owner himself said that he always set 1,500 ringgit a day for their sale, and the total estimated for their revenue for a month is 45,000 ringgit. And with the revenue, the owner himself said that he can bought 3 other coffee machines that cost 20,000 ringgit each. Is expenses. Expenses for IGAUAN Coffee. The owner of IGAUAN Coffee has to pay rent of their cafe that costs 2,000 ringgit a month, and the owner also has to pay salaries to his employees that cost 1,500 ringgit. And Encik Danish also stated that he has to pay bills that cost 200 ringgit a month and 6,000 ringgit to get his coffee beans. Okay, next.
Thank you to Ismahani. Then I will continue my part, which is recording process. If you guys want to know, recording process is the step that taken to record financial transaction into the account system based on valid supporting document. So for IGAUAN Coffee, I will explain how they manage their business financial and record keeping. The manager of IGAUAN Coffee, or commonly known as Mr. Danish, say that he managed their business with hire accountant. Okay, their accountant is from their close family members. The accountant handle management cafe, which is she keep the record and check the account which is balanced or not, or have shortage on that day lah. So next, how Mr. Danish, or the owner of IGAUAN Cafe, used to track daily sales. So he chose to use a Google Sheet system. So the owner say the Google Sheet system is easy to use because he can track daily sale with just open the phone and start track the sales. This means the owner does not need to be at the company to know the daily sales. It makes things easier for the owner because it's easy to access no matter where the owner is. Okay. Moreover, the owner still use platform Google Sheet to track inventory, monitor stock level, and order supply. This is more effective than use manually, said the owner, because this platform very helpful. So for the recording process, usually Mr. Danish, or owner of IGAUAN Coffee, Cafe will use Google Sheet and hire accountant for their business lah. So it will make sure their business everything went smoothly. So this is my part for recording process of IGAUAN Coffee. Thank you.
So for the stream, at IGAUAN Coffees, the owner used a manual accounting system through simple tools like Google Sheets. This approach is not only affordable but also very practical for small businesses. With the help of his girlfriend, he managed the entire business by keeping close control of daily sales, expenses, and cash flow. This hands-on method gives them a real-time financial awareness and supports faster, smarter decision-making without relying on complex accounting software. The simplicity of spreadsheets reduces overhead costs, which is ideal for a startup, where it is also helps the owner to stay personally connected to the business financial health by understanding where money comes from and where it goes every single day. However, as the business grows, this system may show its limits. Tracking profit across multiple revenue streams or identifying best-selling products can become slow and error-prone. Without automation or analytics, it is harder to spot trends or scale efficiently. So, while these methods work well for now, upgrading to a more robust accounting solution might be necessary in the future. Move to the beginners. While IGAUAN Coffee's manual accounting system offers simplicity and low cost, it also presents several challenges, especially as the business starts to grow. One major issue is the risk of cash shortage caused by minor data entry errors or delays in updating financial records. The team previously attempted to use Google Sheets, but they struggled to maintain consistent, accurate data due to slow input speeds and occasional software glitches. This makes producing essential financial reports like income statements and balance sheets much more complicated and time-consuming without automation. As a result, tracking real-time business performance becomes difficult, which can hurt decision-making and limit long-term planning. When asked about improvements, the owner mentioned considering a point-of-sale POS system where this would make entries faster, reduce mistakes, and allow instant tracking of cash flow and sales. While this could greatly improve efficiency and comes with a high upfront cost, something that's hard to justify for a lean startup like IGAUAN Coffee. Still, it is a smart investment to consider as the business to grow. As a conclusion, understanding how to account manually may work for you at first. However, as your cafe develops, it will become much more cumbersome, prone to mistakes, and extremely inefficient with less valuable insight into the important financial parts of your business, where this also makes it difficult to recognize trends and decent forecasting or future planning, or to make clever decisions within the space. You and your team can certainly squeeze out a few extra dollars in profit if you spot opportunities that they didn't foresee possible. Generally speaking, inventory usage will apply as much more time or more than bookkeeping, which is much less contact time for customers like they should be doing. Conversely, basic accounting software at the outset can help to improve your overall bookkeeping efficiency and provide much less opportunity for mistakes, and also offer a real-time data points for sales, cost of goods sold, expenses, and profit at the point of sale level, which properly track invoices, maintain inventory, and provide you with the feed for which of your products perform the best of your. It is essential for you cafe to establish the proper behaviors around your finances as early as possible by using software, staying organized in receipts, separating your personal account from your business account to set them up to grow sustainably, develop efficiencies, and finally have confident, informed conversation around financial decision making and reporting. Thank you.
That's all from us. Thank you.